Guys and dolls, Freedom Dad here, and I'm hoping you'll pick me up okay. It's a wee bit windy, so I've got the mic in my jumper, and we'll find out after the video. Should maybe test it. But no, listen guys, it's Sunday, and you know, it's something I've always wanted to do, and I don't know, like, if courage really isn't the right word, but I suppose no far away, and I've always wanted to say a wee prayer with yous, you know, and it's Sunday, and I keep thinking about it. I don't know why I keep thinking about it, so I've never been a guy to shy away, and I have thought about it, you know. I've never ever shied. This is the one thing that I have stopped, because normally I just do what I think, I say, that's the way I go through my life. And I've learned, you know, a lot of people go through life and they have consequences because of that kind of attitude. But I have to say, I've learned how to process, you know, I'm just tricking myself. I can go forward, but like going around something, it's hard to explain. But so guys, I just want you to take a moment with me, and I'm just going to say a wee prayer for yous, for my followers, for me, and for everybody else, obviously, in the world, you know. So, dear God, Lord, Creator, I say this prayer as I find us in society in Great Britain in a situation that never before have we seen. Again and again, I see the preachings and the directions that you left us not just being ignored, but completely disobeyed. I also see the devil coming amongst us in many forms, and they appear on our TV, directed at our kids through music channels and music presenters, producers and artists. And once we realise that, we see that this is then going into the schools and further into society. And though we ask for guidance at this time, when we find ourselves Christians in such a way, in such a place where most are frightened to become or come out and speak how they truly free because of the freedom of speech, and how most people that lean to the right wing, Christian conservatives, are being persecuted in Britain and America. Dear Lord, please, I never ask for signs because I have faith, but please show my followers that they are not on their own, that you're still there, and we will always move forward strongwards in Christianity. Amen. I shall move on to the video today. So I'm out with Tulip. It's a wee Sunday morning walk. It is windy, it is wet. I've got my waterproofs on. It's hard to get them down. Got my waterproofs on, and yeah, we're just going to go for a wee dander. And I'm feeling the wind. It's hitting me right in the face, so it is. And can't see the mic because I'm wearing something black, which isn't very clever. But no, a couple of things I want to talk about today, guys. And you know, I've said, you know, in my description, in my bio, what I'm all about. You know, it's like, you know, I know a lot of people maybe think, well, I do a lot of talking about illegal immigration and all the rest of it. And yeah, I understand that, but you know, like I say, I only talk about what's in front of me, you know, simple as that. And I find myself, you know, not having to search for it, but it's very well hidden, you got to understand. Every type of childhood abuse, away from what we're finding with the grooming gangs and stuff like that, outside of all that, so imagine there was no immigration at all, and it was just a country of British people, there would still be sex offenders in this country. You got to understand this, you know, and just to make you understand this, you know, and this is no, I don't even like saying this because it's not fair, because it is the way it is. But, you know, Scotland, you know, and England have got an awful lot of sex offender wings and landings and prisons, you know. And anybody from the Scottish system, they know Peterhead's so well known. There's like, you know, if you want to research Peterhead, I'm quite sure there'll be YouTube videos about it. It's quite an atrocious prison, like, you know, geez, oh man, some bad, dangerous men around there, but it ended up being a prison for sex offenders, you know. And so, anyway, there's always been a problem in this country, you know that, And we all know that as well. And then there's arms and legs that come off it. Right, we've got the priest and we've got ministers, you know. When I say priest, I'm talking about clergymen. I should just say clergymen, you know what I mean? Anybody that's abstaining from sex, you know, that seems to be the norm, you know what I mean? Like the norm behind when you research like predators and different predators and what makes them tick, what kind of background do they come from, were they abused when they were younger, what kind of mother and father issues did they have, you know, all these things build a picture up of who is a predator, who goes for children, you know. And it doesn't take much to, you know, if you're going to talk about stuff like this, you've got to do a wee bit of homework, you've got to sort of have a picture in your head, like a 3D image of everything, you know, it's like a big massive city, you know, that's what it is, you know what I mean? And with that in mind, one of the biggest blocks in my city, my 3D image, you know, and I'm going to say putting the grooming gangs aside, is celebrity, you know. And guys, this is one of them videos, you know, it's one of them videos, maybe hard to watch, hard to listen to, you know what I mean? I'm going to keep it as mellow and as listenable as possible for some of you, you know what I mean? But I know some of you already know the score, you know how bad life is, you've been through it, you know? At the end of the day, you've been through it. You don't need me to tell you, you know, so... But there is a lot of people who haven't been through it. There is a lot of people living in very affluent areas and very big houses and haven't got a Scooby-Doo what's going on around them. All they do is they watch EastEnders, Coronation Street, Emmerdale Farm, they watch Channel 4 News, BBC News and Sky News, you know. And they basically take all their gossip and entertainment from the left, you know. And basically because the left run all them outlets, you know. And so anyway, I want to play you a video. Now I feel a wee bit thingy because it is a bit of a long video. It's 4 minutes, 4 minutes. So I want to say, because I'm going to be talking about it at the end, and talking about other things, and there will be other wee clips of things, and yeah, go and get a cup of tea, you know, bookmark it, you know what I mean, put it in your saved list, your watch later list, or, you know, have a category for Freedom Dad in your saved bit, you know what I mean, and anything that's a wee bit longer for your lifestyle right now, stick it in there. You never know, one day you might have nothing better to do, stick on the headphones, because you don't need to watch it, you know. I try and like make it as explanatory as possible. I know I don't use diagrams, I try not to use my hands much, I try and make sure I explain everything to you through verbal, so you can listen to it in audio. And you see, it takes so long to do videos, I'm so sorry. But basically, here's the video.
One time it was an after party, but again, it was at Stringfellows, and these music parties are at strip joints. Why? Is there because there's a way of hiding things and
hidden rooms?
Yeah, and so I went in and I kind of like got trapped up because I hadn't eaten all day, so I went and got a Subway, and then I saw my dudes were like waiting to go in. And I ran across the road, and they'd gone in. I was like, "Oh, I'm with them," you know. And then I had to show like an invitation type thing that we had, and they let me in. But then I didn't see the dudes I went with, but I saw this guy from a record company. He actually was at Island Records, one of the first people I met at Island Records. He was a really cool dude, and I saw him, and he went. So I thought, well, he's obviously here as well. So I ran after him. I was like, "Hey, dude, you know," I'm gonna say his name there. But I ran after him. And he looked at me like, It was weird. He was shocked that I was there, and I was just like, "What? Like, why are you shocked?" You know? And he was just like, "Oh, right. So, he's like, who are you here with and stuff?" And I was like, I explained to him, and he was like, here? And I was just like, "What is the deal? Like, what are you doing?" You know? So we went in this room, and he was like, "You're gonna go to the buffet?" And I'm like, "Why would I want to eat? Well, why would I want to eat right now?" I'm like, I'm in party mode. I'm looking for my friend. Like, let's get drunk. Like, have a laugh, you know. And he was just like, "All right." And he was going in, and I was following him. He was just so weirded out. And I went in, and I'm looking around, and there's all these guys over here, and there's some people young dudes who I've seen on the road. You know, guitar techs or people who are trying to get in the industry, like young, who they're just trying whatever it can to get in the industry, and you see them out on the road, right? And I see one guy, and I'm thinking like, I swear this dude's like not. I'm sure he's underage, and he's not old enough to be in. Because when I've seen him on the road, he's not allowed to drink and stuff.
Yeah.
But weirded out, right? But he wanted to be a singer. He wanted to be get a record deal and all that stuff. And anyway, so I see him, and then like I see a few other people, just like singers that were at shows, like that kind of scene, that kind of industry showcase scene.
Yeah.
You know, and so. But then I see like over in this other area. So there's basically what I'm saying is there's kind of industry people, there's people who are trying to make it, and then there is this other vibe, right? And it was like, what is going on here? Because I look over here and there's like young people, like young dudes and young girls.
We're talking under.
Yes, we're talking like 14,
right.
Maybe even as early as like 13,
right,
14, and it wasn't just a music thing, because I was seeing people who I knew were involved in film and TV at an executive level, so not small people, like people who were at companies like ITN, not ITN. They were at what's it called? One of the big companies used to do a lot of stuff with ITV. Not ITN, another company.
Yeah.
Endemol, actually, they're called.
I used to work for Endemol.
Endemol. So I see a guy who I know as an
I used
executive.
to work for Shepherd's Bush, Endemol, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I see a guy who I know as an executive there.
Right.
And I know he's at the company. I'd kind of been in, when we had to do meetings with them, I'd seen this guy there. So I recognized him. So I was like, all right. I was like, so this is like a film thing? What's going on? You know, and that hits me. I'm like, but I'm in a strip club. Like, what is the deal here? And also, like, the clothes that the girls were wearing, some girls were in like very see-through type stuff. You could just see their breasts. You know, like, it was just a bit like, oh, you know. And then I kind of look over the guy who was looking at me the whole time, and I look at him and I'm just like, and he kind of looks at me as if to go, you weren't invited here. And he kind of realizes like, you shouldn't be here, you know? And he just like says that to me. He's like, you shouldn't be here, you know? And I'm just like, what the fuck is this?
Was this like, hang on, was this like the whole of Stringfellows? Was this like side compartment of it?
Like
you followed him to the
I went to left. Then my friends had all gone just straight into like the normal open
string. But you went,
and he went left, so I just followed him. And that's now the whole conversation he had made sense to me. He's like, he was asking, how did I get invited to this? This is not for, you know. But he was thinking like, oh, so brains must like, these guys must be really like hooked up with people.
Yeah.
And so I was really freaked out about it, and I kind of like left, but I did just remember seeing certain people that not only that I kind of knew that they were a part of, you know, like they were like big agents and stuff like that.
But you didn't see any sort of celebrities?
No, not celebrities, but I saw people who I'd come to see on TV shows. Like when there's a TV show about a big artist's career or whatever, and you see this guy and it's like, oh, this guy is one of the biggest managers in music, or this guy is actually, you know, someone like Max Clifford. And I was like, oh, I remember seeing Max Clifford there, you know, like, and it turned out it was Max Clifford and Simon Cowell's regular do.
So Simon Cowell was there?
It was their thing.
So they set it up?
I never saw Simon Cowell, but it was his thing. It was Simon Cowell and Max Clifford's do. It was called The Buffet.
So, I don't know if that comes as a shock to anybody. It doesn't come to a shock to me, you know, obviously, because this is what I do, you know. I've never been one to talk about it before. Like I say, I've only been doing this for the last 4 months, but I've paid very close attention to everything that goes on in the celebrity world as far as it goes to devil worship and child abuse. And, you know, I have to say, like, they're good. They are really, really good. I haven't got my head around it completely yet, you know what I mean? So I haven't... I'm trying to work out, you know, sometimes I'm starting to go towards like some sort of spiritual protection that they're getting, which would lean you to being like, because they worship the devil and stuff like that, you know, and if you know your Bible, you know who the devil is and all the rest of it, you know what I mean, and the fallen angel sort of thing. But the problem is I feel there's a change, and this isn't a problem, sorry. The problem is that they're good. They're very good. They've been very, very good for many, many years. And it's almost like it's been handed down through the generations of how to be a monster, you know. And they've got better at it, you know what I mean? What worries me, and this is one of the things that I keep coming across, is that I'm struggling to work out why nobody's talking, why the victims aren't talking about it, you know. Now, I know the two main ones, right, is money, right, they get paid off, but, and fear, okay? Because you got to understand, these are the most powerful people in society. You got to understand as well, these children will be seeing the most powerful people in society with these people. You understand? There has been slip-ups in the past, so there has, in America and Britain, you know, like say Jimmy Savile, you know, he Edwards, you know what I mean? And they did protect him, you know. They didn't stop the trial like he did want, and probably threatened him. But they came to an ultimatum, and the trial went ahead, but he escaped prison. And he also escaped losing any of his pension, which probably would have been worse for him than going to prison, you know? Just to give you an idea how important these things are to these people, you know what I mean? We also seen other figures coming out and speaking up for him, you know? And yeah, it's like, I don't think they're getting sloppy. I think we're getting to the stage now where they're getting everything they want, you know? They've tested with what happened with the 19 thing that happened in the next year. They called it 19, but it actually happened in 20. You know what I'm talking about? And they've seen how everybody complied. Everybody was like banging tins and all that, and you know, like people were bullying other people and ganging up on other people, embarrassing them, shaming them because they didn't want to do what the sheep were doing. And there was some big figures like Piers Morgan and that coming out and basically telling everybody that they were just no human, more or less, you know what I mean, because they were being so bad by not being a sheep, you know. And along with how quickly cash is disappearing, now you got to understand, I'm a bank robber, okay? And cash is my thing, you know. Cash was my thing. Cash anywhere was my thing. Any amount of cash anywhere was my thing, as long as it didn't belong to anybody, any person, okay? Simple as that. And it is drizzly, guys, so what way look, I'm going to go back down this way because I'm sort of sheltered down here. In fact, I'm just going to go up because I'm sheltered up here as well once I get up here. It's just a wee opening, so it is. But so when I tell you cash is disappearing, guys, please believe me, there's very little cash anymore. The last places in the working class community, come on, chill up this way. The last places in the working class community that operate with the cash system at the minute is the Scotmids in Scotland, co-ops and stuff like that. And in the last year, cash machines have been drying up. So basically, there's no cash in the cash machines. Like, I live in a little village, basically, and there's 3 cash machines, and on many an occasion, that's one of them single cash machines have had cash in them, okay? Now, I don't know what it's like where you are, but that's what it's like where I am. And it's what it's like where some of my other friends are in different parts of Britain. Because we talk about it, you know? Birds of the same feather flock together, you know? So, I know all different people that do different things, catch in transit, you know, the Secure Corps, banks, counterfeit, you know, all cash, all to do with cash basically, you know what I mean? And, you know, they're all complaining, there's no cash. the life enjoys, eh? Oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's true, you know what I mean? I'm sorry about the lens, guys. I'm going to try and do what I can here. Like I said, it's drizzly. I will stay on top of it. So, going off track a wee bit, but I suppose it's all context, isn't it? Coming up with these big words these days. My Right guys, hopefully that's better. I'll get moving. I had a couple of bodies coming up behind me. I've already bumped into them, so I'm just a wee bit of a paranoid guy, you know. But the thing is, what I'm trying to say to you is society's going the way the people at the very top want, okay? And when I've looked at high-ranking paedophiles on both America and Britain, and keep coming back with a wall of protection and a wall of silence and a wall of looking everywhere but where you're pointing to, you know what I mean? It's like, it does over years. It's very subtle, because there's a lot of stuff that, because of the celebrityism of them, they do not, it's not so easy to get information about them, you know what I mean? So they have a certain amount of protection because of who they are, and the bigger that person is, the even harder it is to get anything about them, you know? The government go out of their way to protect their data. See the way our data is given out willy-nilly to any company that you hit cookies to? That's the opposite to them, right? It doesn't work the same, okay? Now, I want to take you on a wee journey, a wee thought process with you, so I do. And I want you to imagine yourselves as the richest people in the world, right? Or you're up there with the richest people in the world. Now, I've done a video about this before, guys, but, you know, try and get your head around this one. Now, when you're the richest person or people in the world, there's not that many of them. Say there's about 300, okay? So, their immediate threat is the millionaires and billionaires below them, right? Which is thousands and thousands of them, right? You know? So, they're like the minions for them. So, this is what I've always said. I am not accusing the very top of satanic child offences. I'm not accusing them of any rituals, right? Because nobody can get anywhere near them, okay? So, there's no way on earth that I could even assume that they're being involved, right? Because it stops there, you know? But below them, we find, again and again, millionaires and billionaires coming up over the last 40, 50 years being involved with satanic ritual child exploitation, okay? Now, it is very difficult to get eyewitnesses, right? And you can take from what you want. I ain't going down that rabbit hole on YouTube, you know? But the problem is that these people are the richest people in the world. Now, we're talking about thousands. We're not talking about forget about the people at the very top right now. The people are actually pulling the strings and deciding everything, right? So, I do believe the people at the top are involved in making it explicit for these people to get involved in it, because that's how they control them. You understand? Just like P. Diddy, the allegations with P. Diddy, the way P. Diddy worked. And most criminals will work, and even in prison, will manipulate people, get them on their side, either with kindness or badness, either with gifts or blackmail. You understand? And that is the more or less that's how society works, you know. People commune, bad people, that's how they work, you know. So we understand that these people at the top have got complete control of the many billionaires and millionaires in our society that we see all the time, whether it be politicians, celebrities, or sports people, right? Whatever, you know. And they are popping up time and time again, involved in what I've just spoke about. And this is the thing, you see, you know. When you're a multi-millionaire, like Jay-Z and that, Beyonce, you know, P. Diddy, more money than you can do anything with. You got that much money that you're making more money that you can do anything with just by letting it sit somewhere. You know, I'm not talking about banks, I'm talking about trusts, I'm talking about things that we don't even know about, that they just put billions into, and every day they make $1 million, you know. And it's non-stop, you know what I mean, it's non-stop. You know, there's no limit. It's actually, it's no limit. I do believe that while Diddy's probably in prison right now, he's got money growing somewhere, you know. And I know it's so hard for you to understand what it's like to be one of them kind of people, but I just want to try and explain it to you so you understand a wee bit what it feels like to be one of these people. You know, when you're young and you got a toy at Christmas and it was the best toy you ever had, but within 2 weeks, a week, you were fed up with it, you know. That's a human nature thing, it's a human thing. Some guys or women go with their partner and they're full of lust. You know, they want that person so bad. They have sex a couple of times and then fizzles away, you know. You get a nice car. You have the car, you're polishing it, leather interior, all the rest of it. Within a year, it just doesn't look the same. It's, you know, you need a new car, you know. So I'm trying to explain to you exactly what it's like for them on a working class level. You understand? And the difference between us and them is we're always dreaming. We've always got that dream. Until we die, we're always dreaming of what we could be, or what we could have, or what we could give to our family and friends one day if we were lucky enough to win the lottery, you know. Or that entrepreneur who comes up with that really good idea and dreams of becoming a multi-millionaire only to get it stolen while he was pitching it, and some company in America brings it out and changes the dates to make it look like they done it. This is what happens to people like us, you know. So when you've got everything you want in the world, believe you me, you get sick of it. You get sick of it. You get sick of going on the holidays in Barbados and sitting on the beach looking out at the flat sea, yeah? Getting cooked under the sun. You get sick of that. You get sick of jumping about in buggies and jet skis and all the rest of it, you know. And you start pushing the boat out a wee bit, start like taking a chance on life, you know, and get the adrenaline going. You maybe go to Alps, Everest, you know, climb Everest. You know, you've done that, conquered Everest, you know what I mean? And, you know, you're still a multi-millionaire, you're still making billions and billions every day. You know, you're Googling a champagne that you haven't tried, or a caviar that you haven't tried, you know. That's what it's like, guys. Believe you me, no matter what they say to you, no matter what smile they have on, no matter what designer dress they're flaunting on the red carpet, believe you me, when the doors shut and the lights go off, they're as bored as any one of yous lying out there watching this right now. You know, I'm only joking. That's a crack at me, not yous. You know, so, but yeah. Believe you me, honestly guys, you've just got to put yourself there. It's just like that wee kid when you get that toy. Once you've got it, once you've played with it, you discard it, you know. And that's just the human instinct. And so what goes on then is like Diddy, you know. You meet somebody like Diddy who promises experiences that you will never had. And you're like, what? I've had every experience I've had, you know what I mean? Oh, there's no party like a Diddy party, they say, you know? And then you go to the Diddy party and they get oiled up. And apparently they say maybe there was stuff in the oil. I'm going to give some people a way out, you know what I mean? Because we can't paint tar and feather everybody with the same brush, can we, guys, you know? So we'll give some of them a way out. So let's say there was stuff in the oil. And it was some sort of drug that just made you do things that you would never do in life. Who knows, right? And, you know, we'll just say it as if it's normal. They bring out children, and then we know the end story from there on in. And this has been going on. That has been going on since I was a little tiny wee boy. Like I keep saying, we were singing about it at the football matches because that was our social media. That was our way of getting things out that everybody needed to know that we knew. The kids were talking about it back then. The kids were getting to talk about it back then. They were coming back into the children's homes and telling other kids. They were like horror stories. The staff members were telling us the stories as well, like horror stories, you know. If you're bad, you'll end up with the politicians. That's what they used to say. We used to sing about a politician called Cecil Smith. You know, I wish I could remember the words of the song, but it was basically telling everybody that he was a wrong'un, you know. And 25, 30 years later, we found out that he was a wrong'un, you know. And but you got to understand, back then in the day, this is the words of children, you know. But the adults believed them, you know, because the adults had probably been through it as well in the 40s and the 50s, you know what I mean. So yes, there's a huge problem in this country and in America at the very top level, and we hear people over and over again talking about it. Brian Harvey has spoke about it, and a lot of people write Brian Harvey off as somebody with mental health issues. Well, I've got no doubt in my mind Brian Harvey has got mental health issues, but as far as I'm concerned, he's coherent and he knows exactly what he's talking about. He doesn't repeat himself and he stands by every word he says. And the mental health issues that he has are probably by being involved in the pop industry, seeing some things that were very disturbing, and also being ripped off by one of the guys from E17 who kept all the money because he was a songwriter. And it's probably a hard pill to swallow. So yeah, a lot of people would have mental health issues dealing with that kind of thing. And there was other problems that he's had that, you know, you'd need to go on his channel and follow Brian Harvey to find these things out. But there is many people out there that talk about it and are getting shut down with mental health issues, you know. And these are the people I tend to listen to, so I do. And, you know, I don't know what the solution is, but I do know that we need to have awareness, you know. I know if we start talking about stuff and putting it out and being open about it and talking about it as, you know, we know now, you know what I mean, let's not beat about the bush. And, you know, we want to start getting answers. We want to know how many politicians were involved, how many members of the judicial system were involved, how many people from the Law Society have been involved, how many members from MI5 and other services like that have been involved, because there is clear evidence over and over again from different places that all these people I mentioned were involved, you know. And I'm just going to be brutally honest, guys, because there's no point. Sorry, it's got really wet, but bear with me. I'll move the camera so it's the back of the phone's getting wet. Come here, I'm going to get Tulip off, guys, because then I don't need to hang on to her. I'm just going to be brutally honest, guys. There's celebrities in this country, celebrities in America. So I've just cut a bit out because I have to be careful what I say. So I know for a fact that there is people at the very top. I'm going to call it celebrityism. Right? People with all the money, people that's been made it through society, either through TV, films, sports, politicians, lawyers, security services, you know, whatever, however they've got to the top. There's people from every part of that network that are involved in gangs that's been going on in this country for almost, I'd say, 60 years. And each one that comes behind the last one protects the last one. And we need to break the chain. I think once people start talking about this and we start bringing it online and bringing awareness, that other people in this celebrity world will start speaking up and coming forward. That's the only way that we're going to get any justice for any of the children that have disappeared, that are no longer, people are no longer talking about things, and that's strange, very strange. And there needs to be a full open investigation, and I would suggest that another country that's an ally of Britain should bring in a team of independent investigators. And there should be absolute openness and honesty from every department for this investigative whatever. I'm not a man with the big words and know exactly how to tell you what I think. This is my opinion. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Not even entertainment. This is not for entertainment purposes. This is for educational purposes. This is my opinion. Opinion of a guy that was brought up on the streets of Belfast, brought through homes and experienced and seen some bad stuff. And this is just my opinion. But I think that's what needs to be done. Something this serious that's gone on for so long that keeps popping its head up all the time, and then this keeps getting brushed under the carpet. You know, we hear so many names that are connected to Jimmy Savile still getting brushed under the carpet. That tells me that the people that are brushing stuff under the carpet are still in power and they're still up to no good with the children of our society. And when I say the children of our society, I am talking about the working class kids that are vulnerable, that come from vulnerable families. You know, I reckon there's a whole network going from midwives right through the NHS, identifying and targeting vulnerable children. And I think that's how deep and how hard it goes. If we're hearing that midwives are going out and reporting that mothers and fathers are right wing, and that's a problem, or even far right, and they need to report that back the way. Midwives who families trust with all their heart to give them the advice and guidance with their children are doing something like that. Is that how low our government are going? You know, so I've got no doubt in my mind if they're going to do that, what else are they going to do? You know, so yeah, it's very, 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 very hard things to say, and I do say it like it's my opinion, guys. It's what I've seen through life, what I'm picking up from other people from children's homes. Then there's loads and loads of people out there that you can talk to that are in their 40s and 50s will tell you stories about the children's homes they've been in. You got to understand that. You've just got to go out and ask, you know. Most of these kids will be at the end of a battle. Most will be drug addicts. Quite a lot of them will have committed suicide, you know. And that's the facts of getting brought up in children's homes in the 70s, the 60s and the 80s, you know. Obviously things started calming down in the 80s a wee bit, you know. Maybe Maggie Thatcher had something to do with that, having our first female Prime Minister. Something that needs looked into as well. I know a lot of people don't have a lot of time for Maggie Thatcher, but things did change when she came into power. And, you know, I think the fact that she was the woman in amongst all these guys that were doing all these bad things made them either scuttle away, hide everything, and go underground, you know. And, yeah. But all you got to do is research some of the stuff, guys, you know what I mean? And everybody, they call them conspiracy theorists and all that, you know what I mean? But I'm telling you, I'm talking from experience. I'm talking about what's coming up over and over again in my life, you know? They hide the evidence. They do so well, you know what I mean? You can never prove it. It's always whispers and hearsay and all the rest of it. But it's happening too much. And there's a saying, there's no smoke without fire, you know what I mean? That's all I can say, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm going to get down here. Mental, isn't it? You know what I mean? Just got really windy here. But listen, guys, that's all I'm going to say about that. It's you know, got to understand that, you know, children are being attacked from all directions right now, and you know, some of the tactics used to silence children are quite horrific. They used a tactic on me when I was younger to silence me, and I will talk about it when I come out with my story. I will go into detail about it, you know. It's one of the worst things that happened to me in life, you know what I mean? And like, you know, at the time it wasn't that bad, but I didn't know the implications, you know what I mean? But it's one of them things. But it's happening all the time. It's happening to a lot of kids. Any kids that have been involved with abuse, I believe they get targeted when they're younger to discredit them, and also to make them feel like no one would ever listen to them, you know what I mean? And it would make sense. If they're going to go that far to do stuff, then it would make sense, you know what I mean? A lot of kids are involved with drugs because of the drugs that they were given at some of these parties, you know what I mean? But listen, it's very easy for somebody to come online and talk like this, you know, and make accusations and stuff like that, you know, but at the end of the day, it's that's what the word on the working class street is. I'm here to tell you what people talk about on the working class street, what we've been talking about for years, you know, and that's common knowledge around me, around people in Belfast, and around people in Liverpool, Glasgow, Aberdeen, and up and down the breadth of Yorkshire and all Midlands, you know, there was an epidemic at children's homes, you know. There was an epidemic of everybody having sex and having children and not wanting to bring them up, you know. Yeah, you can take a lot from that, guys, you know. But I'm just going to finish on, because I watch Paul Thorpe stuff, and I've never really criticised them, you know what I mean. It's, I've just like spoke about things in general, and yeah, maybe give my opinion about a couple of things, but I've always like given my support to him. Anything they're behind him, and any of the guys I'm behind, you know what I mean. And I've always told you guys to follow and all the rest of it, and understand how difficult it is for these guys, these big guys with a big following, you know what I mean. It is so difficult. I don't think unless you're in that situation you really comprehend, because they're only coming on for like, you know, 15 minutes, half an hour sometimes, unless they're doing a live, and then they're gone again. And, you know, you just get on with your lives. But I don't think people realise that, you know, they've got to get on with their lives as well. And being known on the internet can cause problems. So they can. Because believe you me, the left watch us like a hawk. They do. They watch our videos and they categorize, document everything. Honestly, like, guys, I know it's like a military operation. We are in a time of socialism, we're in a time of communism, and just look at your history books, look how they acted and behaved back then, and that's exactly that's the rule book that they're following right now. So, yeah, but it was seen a video this morning about what, you know, I understand his frustration, you know what I mean, and I did leave a comment. I don't know if you would have seen it or not, but I'm just going to say to my followers, like, running out what I wrote in the comment. Basically, I'm saying the solution. Mum, chill up, we'll go down here. Sorry, it's a wee bit of a longer video, but it is Sunday, guys, you know what I mean. We'll go down here. So basically, trying to find a way down without killing myself. That's it down there, guys. It goes right down. That's right. It goes. I don't think you see how steep it actually is, like, you know what I mean. But it's a big incline, so it is. And she loves running about there with the leaves, you know. I'll catch it if she does it. Chill up this way, down here. And so basically, you know, he said, "What's the solution? What do we do?" You know what I mean? Because it is frustrating. It's already coming online and saying this, that, and the other. But you know, what do we do? I'm going to go here, aren't I? I'm going to go here. It's going to be hard to get out of here. Like, come on, chill up. Chill up. Come on. Come on, my girl. Yeah, so basically I was saying what we need to do is keep doing what we're doing, right? We need to start working together and investigating the likes of Hope Not Hate, the connection to their government, end racism, all their funding, where they're getting their funding from. We need to really look into it, start questioning these people, who they are, etc., etc. We need to highlight to the people about Tommy Robinson, but before that we need to also reach out to people that aren't online and try and get people online. We need to reach out to older people in our communities and try and get think tanks together where we're educating older people how to use their phones and how to go onto YouTube and stuff like that to get their information rather than TV. They're the kind of things at grassroots levels that will help the solution in the future, you know what I mean? Once we bring awareness to the people of Britain, the government, what the government have actually done, what they've done to Tommy Robinson is a perfect example. Okay, whether you like Tommy Robinson or you dislike Tommy Robinson for whatever reason, you got to understand it is a perfect example of how bad our government are. So all we got to do is be honest and truthful, right? And bring awareness to the people that the government have lied to us about Tommy. Show the things that they've done to the man and his family. Who has helped him to do this? And then we'll get to the reasons why they've done it. Once we can show people that in that order,
And when we get to the reason why they're doing it, then they'll understand how much trouble we're in. Once they understand how much trouble we're in, that's when we'll get the support of everybody in the United Kingdom. It's as simple as that, you know. You've always got to remember the one thing we've always got on our side is the truth, you know. We haven't done nothing wrong. The only people doing anything wrong is the government and the left and the far left. Believe you me, guys, you know. There's no optics of us doing anything wrong. There was a lot of football violence in the day, and at the very start there was a bit of kerfuffle here and there with a few of the football lads, you know, getting riled up by the police. But we live and learn, and as we go forward with demonstrations and other like online chit chats and get-togethers, we find that we're learning and we're starting to understand the politics of the left, how they're working, how important optics are to them, you know. So these are the kind of things that we need to do right now while we're fiddling our thumbs, so to speak. We're obviously going to target council elections. We've got to start at the very basics. We need to put people in areas that people are going to vote for. Simple as that. Working class guys that people respect in each area, that people listen to, people that can reach out to both communities, all communities, you know. And it's difficult, it's not easy, but like I say, we've got the truth on our side, we've got honesty, we've got our morals, and we've got the culture and the traditions that have been set out in this country for years and years and years by our ancestors. So we can't really go wrong, you know. There's no manual road on it, you just know, you know what I mean, we just know. So that's the way forward. I believe that's where we should be putting our effort into. As everybody should be talking about this. But most and foremost, get everybody online. There's so many people right now that don't know how to go online. They don't know how to put comments on your YouTube channels, guys. I'm talking about the big YouTube, not these listen, but I know my followers will mention in their comments that Freedom Dad has spoke, you know, about them, and sometimes they jump on and have a wee look just to make, you know, because a lot of people are just worried because I'm going to be bad mouth. I would never do that, you know what I mean? I always be honest, and I know sometimes it comes across as maybe I'm having a dig. I'm trying not to come across like that, but I'm just trying to be open and honest, and like as I would talk to one of my mates, it's as simple as that, you know what I mean? If one of my mates came across in a way that I didn't think was right, I would call them out, you know what I mean? And we would have an open and honest discussion about it. He wouldn't fall out, he'd probably thank me in the long run. So that's the way I am, and that's what I think personally. So start at ground roots, like start working with the people, getting the people online, getting information. We've got to remember, knowledge is power. A lot of people don't have the knowledge right now, and that's why we're not so powerful. Once the people have the knowledge, that's when we become powerful. Thepledge.com is an absolutely perfect way to start. It's at least starting of somewhere where we can get the word out, somewhere where we can get educational videos of how to use the internet, how to use YouTube, how to use X, explaining what they are, who runs these companies, what you can say, what you can't say, you know, and a direction of where to go. You know what I mean? We could everybody can have a vote of all their favorite YouTubers, and all the names, like 10 names that come up the most, can get like advertised on whatever, you know what I mean? That's what unity, obviously coming together, and that's the only way forward. People that are standing out, that are on the right and aren't agreeing, we need to address it, find out what's wrong, why they don't agree, because I know that you are right, I am right, we are in the right, and anybody that's saying that we're not in the right, they are wrong. So I can honestly believe that somebody is wrong. We can prove them how to show them the right way, and you know, at the same time, you know, I've got God on my side. I don't know about you guys, but you know, I walk with God next to me. I walk with my loved ones looking down on me, and I walk with my daughter looking back at me. So that's where I'm going to leave this video. You know, I love every single one of you. I don't care what colour you are, don't care what religion you are. You love me, I love you, you know. And if I'm going to feel hate, then obviously human instinct is to give a bit of hate back. But we're trying to learn to deal with that in a better way. We are only human. We all make mistakes and stuff like that in life. And geez, oh man, I'm not here to tell anybody what's right from wrong. You know what I mean? My life's been an absolute complete disaster. You know what I mean? Done things I'm totally ashamed of. And yeah, you know, I know a two-sided thing. I was dealing with the situation I was in. Not really an excuse, you know what I mean? But I'm trying to make amends with my maker, and trying to do the right thing in life, and that's all we can do, guys, you know what I mean? And as always, so much love for you guys for being here for so long, and like four, I think we're in the 5 months now, and I never thought for 1 minute I would have over 3,000 followers. Like I say, I was always thinking about maybe 100 followers, and it was more like a document stuff from my daughter. I didn't didn't ever think I would go down this way and be so passionate and be, you know, because I know who I am and I've always been. I never thought I would come out and say it, you know what I mean? I never thought I could articulate it in a way where you would understand it, because of the way I've been brought up, and, you know, the roughness and just, you know, working class, you know, that some of this come from the really worst parts of the working class areas, you know what I mean? And it is very, very difficult to find your way through life. A lot of bad peer pressure comes from different directions, and there's a lot of broken families and a lot of other children going through what I went through. They were walking the same path as me, and some went different directions, and some it didn't end up too well for them. And I'm just lucky that I'm still here, and I thank God every day that I wake up and I'm able to talk, breathe, and love, listen, and understand, you know what I mean? And I try to bring that to you and my followers, to try and, like, what's going on in my head must be going on in your heads, because I'm no different than anybody else. So that's what it's about, guys. Sorry it's another wee long video, but it is Sunday. So chill out, have a cup of tea and that there, you know what I mean? And go and give Paz a wee watch. All my love, guys, and God bless every one of you. You showing off? Yeah, you showing off for your followers? Yeah? Think you're cool, don't you? Because you got your own followers. Yeah? So we get your wee YouTube channel. Yeah? A wee bonus for you guys. Wee mad tulip. The biggest dog in the park, biggest dog in the woods. Right guys, all my love, God bless.